Hey everybody. Well, I just got back from watching Logan, and yeah, apologies in advance. This might go a bit longer than my usual reviews because there's something I really want to talk about, but that's heavy spoilers. So, uh, about a little bit into the video, I'll give you my final thoughts and give you an ample amount of time for spoiler warning before I get into the actual spoilers because this is not a movie I would want to spoil. And yeah, so basically right off the bat, this is a good movie, really good. It's rare to see a trilogy where the last one's actually the best. The normal formula for a trilogy is the first and second one are kind of, first or second best depending on how it goes. uh, the Scream trilogy originally, first one was the best, second one was alright, third one was not that very good, if I'm being honest. The Star Wars and Lord of the Rings movies, completely different. The second one's usually the better one, depending on who you talk to. Hobbit's technically a little bit better paced, but Two Towers has a lot going on, so it's kind of tough to compare. Logan, on the other hand, is the third movie in the Wolverine trilogy. First one being X-Men Wolverine Origins, then the Wolverine, and then Logan. And let nobody fool you, X-Men Origins Wolverine was crap. Horrible crap. So bad, in fact, it made, I think, 3 jokes in the Deadpool movie about how bad it was, and that was just because of what they did to Deadpool. Imagine when they turned Wolverine's claws into Judge Doom's hands from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, they were bad. And they sound like 2 giant katanas slamming against each other if he so much as nicked something. Whereas the claws in this movie are a lot better done and seem like actual extensions of his body, like blades coming out of it. Oh, yeah, just really good, guys. And a lot of props should be given to Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart for reprising their roles as Wolverine and Charles Xavier. Except they don't really call him Wolverine in the movie, they call him Logan. I think he gets that title maybe once or twice, but it's mostly just people looking around and seeing him going, oh, Wolverine. But they do a magnificent job in this movie, playing these old, disheveled men who have just gone through hell and back numerous times and have nothing to show for it. Everyone they know and love is gone, and it's just them living without really living, just going through the paces. And in comes Laura, the girl you see in the trailers, and stuff happens, craziness ensues, and people get stabbed. Let that R rating not fool you. It's not one of those pay to get the street cred like you would see in The Gallows or anything like that. This is a hard R movie. You want violence? You'll see violence. You want to see some form of nudity? You'll get that. You want to see some crude humor? Yeah, you'll get that too. It's actually very tasteful crude humor, if that makes any sense, unlike the wonderful movie Fist Fight. Yeah, no, those pedophilia jokes still suck. But Wolverine, Charles, Laura, all the actors give a pretty good job. The supporting cast, not exactly the best. They do their job serviceably. It's just that the main 3 have so much to them, they just put everyone to shame. And the action scenes, well done. The fighting between Laura, Logan, and everyone else just goes into crazy yet fluid fight motions of people getting stabbed, flipped, limbs cut off, stabbed, rinse, repeat. It's almost like the John Wick formula of shooting somebody in the head, except, cutting a body part off of somebody. You think you've run out of parts, and then, oh, there goes a torn fibia. Or, yep, there went his head. Yeah, and when I mean head, I mean straight up decapitation. One of the first kills we see in the movie, besides Wolverine's little mix with some Mexican crazies. That's not a spoiler because 2 minutes in, nothing to the plot, just shows Wolverine's old. But yeah, Laura comes out with the dude's head. His literal head. You can see it in the trailers too. Oh, this movie gets dark very fast. But the things I really want to talk about and praise, I would have to go into the spoiler section. So, as of right now, if you don't want anything spoiled, just stop the video. It's really good. Go see it. If you're a comic book fan, if you're a fan of something like Transporter or The Last of Us, which I know seem very different, but if you are a fan of those types of movies, or in Last of Us, the video game, you will definitely get a lot out of this movie. And it's clear that Logan borrows a lot from the Old Man Logan stories, The Last of Us, and just really building up the humanity that Logan has lost and hopefully will recover again by the end of the movie. So, if you're not a fan of that stuff, as much as I would want you to go see the movie, and I really, really want you to go see the movie because I want it to do good, to show that this type of movie is worth making and worth doing and making money. And Fox has been known many times to not finance their, how should I put this bluntly, risky movies. Deadpool was a risky movie. They did not give him a single budget, and now it is currently the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time and the highest grossing February movie of all time. So, yeah, Fox can kiss it. And Logan, too, is a rated R movie and actually warrants it, unlike another movie which tried so hard to get a rated R movie. And I'll talk about that in the spoiler section. But yes, great movie. Go see it. If you're not a fan of that stuff, wait for it on Redbox or Netflix. It's one that really should be seen just because of the heart from both the actors, the story, and just everything around it. So, go away. Right? Everyone left? Ready for the spoilers? Okay. As many of you might have guessed from the trailers and the way they're shot, someone dies in the movie. And yes, it is confirmed. Charles Xavier does die in the movie. But not just Charles. It's actually pretty much implied, hinted, and almost all but said in name that all the X-Men are dead. And it's because of Charles. It actually all culminates into his death scene. He's resting up at a house with a family he just met, with a boy who looks strangely like the friend you meet in Last of Us, so tie there. And he's talking to Wolverine as Laura's sleeping on the floor. Just, she's a kid, she sleeps. She's been on the run for 2 days. And he's just happy for the first time he's had a good night's sleep because since the incident where he killed the X-Men, he just feels horrible. And you can understand why he feels horrible. He's killed his family. And he doesn't feel like he deserves a good night's sleep. And he just feels so happy for the first time in so long he's doing something good. He's protecting Laura. He's helping her get to where she can be safe from the people who are trying to chase her down. And it comes almost out of nowhere because the Logan he is seeing isn't Logan. People who've read comics or know anyone who's read a comic who will tell you Laura is the mutant X-23, a genetic clone of Wolverine, making her his daughter, which you could probably guess from the trailers. What they don't show you is that she might be 23, but there's a bunch of series of 23, a whole bunch of kids. So kids are ruly and uncontrollable, so what do? Well, you make them full grown, fully implemented. And Charles is killed by X-24, which is Hugh Jackman, looking a lot younger, so they're not, night and day. There was a good bit of makeup on Old Man Logan and X-24. And he kills Charles Xavier. As Charles looks into Logan's eyes, wondering why. He does manage to technically survive this and is able to have one last moment with Logan as Logan is trying desperately to load him in the back of a truck, save Laura and get out of there. And Charles makes one last little joke with Logan and passes on. And it is a very powerful scene. I could not underplay that enough. Uh, and I owe a lot of that to Patrick Stewart's acting and Hugh Jackman, who have been in these movies so much together. There is a chemistry built up. It may not be the direct father-son you're hoping for, but there is that bit of familiarity with them. And it hurts watching him go. Even though you know it's going to happen, it's one thing you wish would not happen. And this leads into something I wanted to talk about, and the second spoiler. As anyone who knows the news knows, this is Hugh Jackman's last role as Wolverine. And they send him off the best way you could. Logan is the second casualty in this movie. The last casualty, I should say. I won't say how, because it actually is very well built up. Basically, it happens. And when it happens, it's very real. I guess the best way to say real is it's not grandiose, it's not over the top, it's not the final stand of a man. It's not Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader at the end of Star Wars. It's not, if you want to go for a show base, it's not Goku versus Frieza in the end of Dragon Ball Z. Or one of the end of the arcs of Dragon Ball Z. It's just very real how he goes out. And it's well shown why. We all know Logan has a healing factor and there's adamantium in his body. But that's still a foreign metal in a foreign body. And as he gets older, the healing can't keep up, and is focusing mainly on keeping the adamantium from poisoning him. So his healing factor gets weaker. He gets weaker. He fights on. And he fights till his last breath. A truly honorable way for Wolverine to go. Goes the one thing he was never able to do, which was save someone he cared about. And it's done well. And Laura's acting, the kid who played her, I don't know if I've seen her in anything else. I did an IMDb search on my way back, but she did a phenomenal job, and it just tugs at your heartstrings as you watch this happen. And it's something that I need to talk about in this case, because I think to any DC fanboy out there who is very, Batman v Superman was really good. The death of Superman, now that got me. Don't lie to yourself. That's not how a death scene should be done. We all knew what was going to happen. We all saw it coming. It makes no sense why he would die. And it's something that I think Fox might have finally found their niche. Marvel's niche is basically copy the Iron Man formula verbatim for every movie you can think of and just let it keep rolling, with slight variations here or there. Ant-Man being the case of a thief in a heist movie, and Doctor Strange being one of a mystical movie. DC, they haven't found their niche yet because they keep following the darker movies. Dark, great, yeah, darkness. Oh, dark. Kill people because, killing's adult and cool and stuff. Yeah, Zack Snyder can still firmly kiss my ass. Especially after that wonderful talk about the fans. Yeah, that's the one thing that might actually prompt me to cuss. But I carry on. Fox has made these rated R movies because they have made them perfectly suitable to what they need. Deadpool was an action comedy, one could almost say romance movie, between our would-be hero Deadpool and his love interest and the craziness that follows within. And Wolverine, or Logan, is a last hurrah movie, as it would be, the last ride. A man who has nothing left to live for finally gets one last thing, one last chance of redemption, and goes all the way with it. And this is all on Hugh Jackman's part, really. He plays this role perfectly. He is not tired of the role. He does not show his fatigue in the role. He plays it to a T, and up to his death, you believe you are watching Wolverine die. Well, and live, as it would be. It's done very well. There is actual atmosphere, this actual feeling that this might be the last time we see Wolverine. And that hurts. Wherein Batman v Superman, Superman dies, and no more than, first off, no one thought he was dead for a second. Second off, the fact that you are willing to cheapen it by literally having no build up to it and just pretty much showing, he's going to be back because, dirt sprinkling off of Superman's coffin. Because that's clever. That's witty. So, if anyone's on the fence still about Logan, Wolverine wasn't a bad movie. It just hangs in the back of my mind. I'm used to calling him Wolverine instead of Logan. And they do actually do a couple throwbacks to the other movies. There's a katana hanging up in the real Logan and this other mutant, Cable? Not Cable. Caben? I think it's Caben. I'm not that familiar with the X-Men lore. There's a katana hanging in the background from the Wolverine movies. And they play a lot with the continuity a bit there. It's nice. And at the end, when Wolverine does pass on, there's a really good scene where they have a cross, because Laura saw it in a movie and had it as a cross, and she thought it was a proper burial. But as everyone leaves for the final shot, she takes the cross out of the ground and puts it sideways, diagonal really, to be an X. Since Wolverine was the last X-Men, it was only fitting that he would get an X for a tombstone, as it would be. So, Logan, I'm not repeating myself at this point, guys, but if you are any former comic book fan, any Wolverine fan, a Hugh Jackman fan, enjoy Last of Us, go see this movie. You owe it to yourself to go see this. It's really, really good. As for next week, I actually have no idea what I'm going to go watch next week. If anyone has any ideas, comment below. Otherwise, I think the only one that I can think of at the moment is Kong. And Beauty and the Beast is the week after that, so that should be fun as well. But you guys got any ideas for what you want me to review? Comment below and I'll take a look. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another video on it. Well, until next week with another review, this is Kevin Rowley signing off, and have a good night. And Hugh Jackman, I know you will probably never see this, but you did very good. You will always be Wolverine in here, so good job on you, mate. Later.